everyone. So today I am going to do April's Q&A, and I actually have a decent amount of questions this time, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to go ahead and get into it since I do have quite a few. Alright, so first question is sort of a silly question. It is, I have separation, abandonment, anxiety, I need love, will you carry me around in your pocket? Sure, why not? If you fit in my pocket, but seeing that I'm a girl and I wear girl pants, the pockets are like this deep, so you're probably not gonna fit. But if I was wearing guy pants, you might fit, so maybe we can work something out on that regard. So there you go. Next question. Is there anyone you would class as an inspiration in life? I class pretty much anyone who is successful in overcoming or fighting their mental illness and is a university instructor or a lawyer or a doctor, or I mean it could be like a business person, a successful business person, anyone who is successful in their career despite their illness, or maybe a writer or a motivational speaker, any kind of advocate. Anyone who is able to overcome their illness, and whether it be just being on the right medication or going to regular therapy and still able to achieve their dreams, I think those are great motivational people. So, I mean, there's a long list. I mean, I'm not going to go through everyone, and I don't recall everyone's name either, but definitely like pretty much anyone you see in TED Talks over mental illness, who talk about mental illness, like those people are inspirational to me. Okay, so next question. If you had a wish, is there a country that you would like to visit, or just a place that you've always wanted to see? I have always wanted to go to Japan. I would love to see Tokyo, and as well as see the countryside of Japan. I just have a lot of interest in Japanese culture and Japanese street fashion and Japanese pop culture, so it's just always been a place that I've wanted to visit because of my interest. So Japan is the answer to that. And let's see, next question. If you could, is there any times in your life that you would like change? Yes, I would, well, for one, I wish that I could just jump my career path into psychology without having to finish school before I start into it, like to actually work in the field before completing my degree, speeding up that process, having that change. I would absolutely love that, because I don't like what I'm doing right now, as I've mentioned before. So just being able to change my career like right now, that would be wonderful. And I would like to travel more than I do. I used to travel more frequently. I had the means to do so a few years back, but lately, like, I haven't, like, where I live, I go to 2 major cities that are like road trip distance, like little mini road trip or weekend trip distance, like 3 hours and like 5 hours apart away from me. So I've been to those places that pretty much anyone from my state will go to. So I've been to those, but as far as like hopping on a plane and actually traveling somewhere across the country, or even across the world, I haven't done that in a very long time. So I would definitely like to change that. But yeah, so next question, if you had to pick, would you rather be very wealthy or just have an average life and be really happy? Well, I would like to be very happy, so I guess I would pick having an average life. But, I mean, money doesn't buy happiness, but having a lot of times well, not always, but sometimes jobs or careers that do make a person wealthy, like for example, like the CEO of like Google or the CEO of Facebook or whatever, like I'm pretty sure those people live pretty happy lives. I mean, I'm sure they have their downfalls and their moments, and there's definitely aspects of the job that are not happy, but I mean, overall, I would like, or really, I would like to have both. I don't really care about being like freaking rich or anything, like making, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, I'm not concerned about that. But if I just made like close to six figures, then I think, because they say that after you reach $70,000, your quality of life is the same. So if I was just making $70,000, then I think I would be content because I'd just be comfortable living. I'd be able to take vacations. I'd be able to buy the occasional gadget or whatever that I may be interested in. So, yeah, so not extremely wealthy, but just comfortable and very happy is what I would choose. So I don't know if that really answers the question, but that is what I would choose. Okay, next set of questions. Are you a cutter, someone who purposely cuts themselves? I used to be. I haven't cut in probably a year now. But yeah, I used to be, and to anyone who still cuts, I really hope that you can get help, whether it's going to therapy. I think cutting therapy is really pretty much the answer to it. To just be able to talk to someone about why you're cutting and what, like how that relieves your feelings by doing that. And, sorry, my cat is eating burned incense, so that's kind of gross and probably not healthy. Anyways, yeah, just anyone who cuts, I hope you are getting help, and I hope that you can stop. I know it's really hard to break the habit, but I hope you can stop soon because it's not a good time. It scars you permanently, and I mean emotionally as well as physically, and yeah, just I feel for people who cut, as I did it myself. Next question. As a fellow schizoaffective schizophrenic, do you think you're slowly losing it over the years? That is, were you more active and alive, say, 5 or 10 years ago? Yes, definitely. Seeing as the onset of schizophrenia, the disease itself really picks up at age 25. I definitely noticed myself going downhill at that point, and things really haven't seemed to pick up. They seem like they are getting worse, like I am sort of losing it. So I do definitely agree with it. I did have more energy, and I was more engulfed in my hobbies and my interests when I was younger. I was more active, and now I'm just kind of like a dead fish. I mean, I'm not the same person that I used to be. So, yes, definitely I have been losing it. Alright, when was your last anxiety panic attack? Please describe it for us. I actually don't get really bad panic attacks very often. When I do, it's usually in the workplace setting. So, and oh, by the way, I did get a job, you guys. So I'm sure that I will be having anxiety attacks to report on during work. So that's usually when I get anxiety attacks, is when I'm under stress at work. But since I've only been at this job for a week, that hasn't really happened yet. And as far as when my last one was, maybe I was going to, yesterday, my friend's bridal shower. I was trying to find the pavilion in this really giant, huge park that's near my house that I'm actually not very familiar with, because, I mean, it's such a giant park that I've just kind of walked around the surface of it, but I haven't really gotten deep into the park very often, only like a couple times. So I was like walking that entire park trying to find the pavilion, and I'd like see a group of people, and I'd just be like staring at all the people, like, do I see anyone I know? Is that them? And like I had these little kids like come up to me, and they were like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just walking. So that kind of made me feel a little bit anxious. Like I was like, am I ever going to find this pavilion? What am I going to do if I can't find it? But I eventually did find it, and all was well, but that gave me a little bit of anxiety. I wouldn't say it gave me an anxiety attack, but that's the most anxiety that I can remember that's happened somewhat recently. So, do you know of any herbal remedies that can help someone who suffers with schizoaffective schizophrenia? I think that I do know of, I don't know about schizoaffective or schizophrenia, but as far as anxiety goes, which a lot of people who do have schizoaffective or schizophrenia also have anxiety, the supplement chamomile, which also goes into, well, also everyone has heard of chamomile tea, but you can also buy the concentrated supplements of chamomile. And if you take like 4 or 5 of those supplements, like it works pretty much as well as a benzo does to control anxiety. So I totally am a huge advocate of chamomile. Like, definitely use that shit up and you will feel better. So that's really the only one that I know of. Drinking herbal teas is good. It'll calm you, relax you, maybe like lavender tea, or any other kind of essential oils. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know of any other herbal supplements, but I know you do, Robert, so maybe you can share. Next question. Do people call you weird or strange even if they don't know your diagnosis? Yes, people call me weird and strange all the time just because of, like, I sort of have a quirky personality, and the way I dress sometimes can look weird or strange. So I get people calling me that all the time. Like, they don't even have to know me at all. They can just see me walking down the street and they think that I'm weird or that I'm strange, and it happens. I'm totally used to it, and it really doesn't bother me at this point. Next, what's your favorite rap song about schizophrenia? Ha, I just sent it to you. Yes, you did, Robert, send me a rap song about schizophrenia. It was pretty amusing. I guess that one is my favorite because that is the only rap song about schizophrenia that I have heard. So, yeah, and I will actually post a link to that video in the description so you guys can check it out. But yeah, other than that, my favorite song, non-rap song about schizophrenia is Arsonist Lullaby by Hozier. And that's a really good one too, you can look it up. But yeah. So, alright, next set of questions. Do you have an opinion on cannabis and its dubious, pun intended, relationship with schizophrenia? So I actually did some research on this because I know that cannabis can help with pain and depression and anxiety, but I didn't know specifically what its effect with schizophrenia was. So what I discovered was that the chemical THC is actually the negative chemical that will increase psychotic symptoms, while CBD is the positive chemical that will actually reduce psychotic symptoms. So what you want to do if you do smoke marijuana is get strands of weed that are high in CBD, and they actually listed like the street names of the strings that were high in CBD, and I can't remember what they were, I didn't write them down, but I'm sure you can look that up. So yeah, I think that I personally don't have a problem with anyone who smokes marijuana, so I think it's totally up to the individual, but just going based off of those facts, I think you should know what you're buying. Don't just smoke anything, don't just go to your friend's house and randomly smoke something, because that could be causing you psychotic symptoms. If you are interested in smoking it, then do your research, buy strands that are high in CBD, and hopefully that will reduce your symptoms. So, alright, next question. Given your genetic component to your disorder, how do you feel about having kids? looked into this. Now my cat's chasing his tail, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with him today. Something wrong with him every day. Anyways, so I looked into this when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I wasn't yet diagnosed with schizoaffective. And from what I researched, people having offspring that will have bipolar disorder or the exact disorder that you have is actually relatively low. Like, it is pretty low. But from what I've read also, the chance that they'll have another mental disorder is they have a 50% chance. So, I mean, I definitely have some hesitations because I don't want to pass this disease onto my children. I don't want to make them more susceptible to other mental disorders, but I think I do want to have my own kids, so I probably will. Will have my own kids and just hope for the best that whoever I have them with has good genes and they will get their genes and not get my icky ones. So, yeah, I think that I will have kids someday, despite the possibility that they could inherit my disorder. So just crossing fingers that they don't. Next question. Who are you voting for president if you are voting? I would vote for Bernie Sanders if he makes it, but if he doesn't and we just have Clinton and Trump, then I guess I'm voting for Clinton because I really don't like Trump. So I believe she's the lesser of the two evils, but I'm really not a fan of hers either. But I really don't want Trump. I don't think there needs to be a wall to keep Mexicans out, and I don't think that Muslims need to be banned from this country. I think that's racist and completely ridiculous. So, yeah, so that's that. Next question, favorite video on your channel? I like my mental hospital videos just because they recap my experience and I can go back to them at any time and kind of remember what those experiences were like for me. So I like those videos. I thought that my disability video about getting on disability or the process of disability for mental illness was done pretty well and informative, so I like that one. My ghost stories video, another thing that I can look back on and just kind of recap all of my paranormal experiences, which is kind of cool. So I like that video. So, yeah, I mean, I guess those four primarily. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say what my favorite video is. I just kind of make them and hope for the best. But we'll just say those four. Alright, next set of questions, final set. What is new in Amelia's world? Well, I got a job. The job is at my old company, and I'm doing a different position there, but it is at a place that I've worked previously. It's not really a stress-free job by any means. Like, a lot goes into it, and there's a lot to learn, and I'm kind of worried that I won't be able to do it, but hopefully I can. So, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing that's new in my world, is that I got a new job. What's the cutest compliment you've ever got from a boy or a guy? One thing that my ex told me, I have it written down on my phone. He told me it while he was drinking, and he said, "Your kiss is like a million sun flares in my stomach." How romantic is that? Yeah, so I don't know what else people have said. People usually aren't that romantic to me. I always get involved with people who generally aren't that romantic, so I don't know. I don't really have anything that's a cute compliment that I can think of offhand, but just that one. So, anywho, coffee or tea and why? I can't choose between the two. I love coffee. I love going to local roasters and buying the beans and grinding them myself at home and making delicious coffee. I also like going to local tea merchants and buying loose leaf tea and brewing it or steeping it, whatever. And yeah, so I love teas and I love coffee, and sort of a coffee and a tea snob both, so I can't choose between the two. What is your general opinion of astrology? So I think it's fun to look up your horoscope and see what it says, what today or tomorrow is going to bring. I think that's interesting. And I think that, like, I'm a Scorpio personally, and I think that some Scorpio traits are true of me, but I've, like, dated people or been close to people who I looked up their sign and I didn't really feel their sign fit them. So I think it was just kind of, I don't know, maybe lucky that I think that Scorpio fits me to an extent. So I kind of take it with a grain of salt. I don't take it too seriously, but I do think that it is fun to look into. Your favorite activities these days? Probably sleeping, because I have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning now, and I don't get home until 6:30 at night, and I'm usually just beat, so I usually like take a nap or something. I know I'm really boring, but that's what I do. So that was all the questions, and this is a very long video, so I'm going to hurry up and cut it off here. Thank you guys all so much for your questions. I greatly appreciate it. And I will put one of these up for the next month. If you didn't have a chance to ask a question, then you can ask it in the new May Q&A question video. And yeah, so thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.